different to you. So obviously I have straightened my hair. I don't know about you, but I sometimes just fancy a bit of a change. I know obviously every curly hair day is different, but the beauty of having curls is that they're so versatile. If you fancy sort of shaking up your look a bit, you can straighten your hair, as I have done. Also, I don't know about you as well, but I like to sort of, out of idle curiosity, do a length check. So, obviously, because with curly hair it shrinks up and bounces up. So, I'm going to attempt to show you guys how long my hair is. Excuse the trackies. So, my hair, when it's straight, is down to the small of my back. Obviously, when it's curly, it bounces up to sort of just above my boobs. So it is nice to sort of reassure yourself that your hair is growing, but the novelty does quickly wear off for me. Once I've done the initial sort of and like once I've been able to like brush my hair and run my hands through it, I do miss my curls because I like bouncing them. So what I'm going to do in this video is share a few sort of tips and tricks and demo how I help my hair recover if I fancy breaking the rules. So I filmed that intro a couple of days ago now. You can see my hair's already deflated a little bit. This is after I fluffed it as well. It's already starting to sort of try and curl and it's not quite as straight. So what I used to do is I would then again run the straighteners over and just get rid of all this sort of natural wave. But what I'm going to do is go back curly. So the sort of recipe I am going to demo for you today, I'm just checking I've got all my sort of ingredients here. It's similar to the protein treatment that I have demoed in my other videos, just with a slight sort of twist to it. So I'm going to get cracking. So I've got my bowl of hot, not boiling water. I've got my Dr. Oetker gelatine. So this isn't a vegan recipe, obviously, unfortunately. This is, I want to say it's between £1.50 and £2 from Tesco's. So it's fairly budget friendly. And I'm going to use 2 sachets because I've got a lot of hair. So I will warn you, it stinks. So I'm just pouring it into the water. I'm just going to dump both sachets in and then give it a really good mix. Got my trusty fork here. So I'm just whisking it up, trying to make sure I'm getting it all blended nicely. Seriously smells horrible. Now, I've added a little bit more water today than I did in my previous protein treatment video because it went really, really gloopy before. So I'm hoping it won't be quite so thick because it just sort of slopped onto my head, if I remember rightly. So that seems pretty much all mixed together now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my Pantene Body and Strength hair mask and swallow the air bubble. And I forgot to bring up a tablespoon, so I'm just going to sort of chuck in a couple of decent sized blobs. Now the gelatine, just sort of break down the recipe while I'm cleaning myself up. So the gelatine is obviously a protein, which, as you've heard me say multiple times now, protein is the building blocks of the hair. 80% of the hair's natural makeup is keratin, which is actually a protein. Now, you can use, I have seen people use things like eggs and avocado in a at-home protein treatment, but I don't know how accurate this is, but it does make sense. Apparently the protein molecule is too big to properly penetrate the hair shaft when you're trying to use like egg white, when you're trying to use eggs and avocado. So that's why I tend to stick to the gelatine, because apparently the protein molecules are smaller, so it works better. Little science lesson there. So this is what it's looking like so far. In typical me fashion, I think I have put too much water in this time, but it will sort of thicken up as the gelatine starts to set. And then what I'm going to do is just chuck in a little splash of this apple cider vinegar. If you can see the sediment swirling in it, that's the mother, that's where all the goodness is. So you want to look for apple cider vinegar with the mother. And I'm just going to add a slosh of this in. Apparently this helps seal the cuticle and seal in all that goodness. Just giving it a final whisk. The good thing is this hair mask smells really nice, because the gelatine and the apple cider vinegar do not. So there we go, look, you can see it's thickened up nicely now. So here comes the messy part. I'm trying to decide if I want to change my top. I don't think I do, because I can't be bothered. So I'm just going to take my rings off. I am going to, let me just double check if I've said everything I need to say. So yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I interrupted myself there, just going back to where I was saying protein is the building blocks of the hair. So using heat tools such as straighteners and curling tongs and permanent hair dye and bleach and that breaks down those building blocks in the hair cuticle, and that can lead to like damage, breakage, dullness, doesn't hold the curl properly. So protein treatments help fill in those gaps that have been caused by the damage. So that is why I use the protein. Obviously the deep conditioner is to then moisturise the hair, because straightening and chemicals and all that, that's drying to the hair. So they sort of go hand in hand to basically make your hair feel better. And this particular hair mask advertises itself as body and strength. So this is also designed to strengthen your hair and sort of make it more resistant to heat damage. So that is that. And like I said, the apple cider vinegar helps seal everything in apparently. So let me make sure I have said everything. I don't know if anybody else does this. I've got all my notes in front of me, because otherwise I get myself all flustered. This is what we're working with now. Nice and gloopy. Does smell marginally better now. Now I've added this amazing smelling hair mask. It's relatively cheap as well. I had it in my head it was like £6, but I'm sure when I bought it recently it's only something like £2. So I've taken off my rings. This is a nice smooth gloopy texture, and I am just going to get stuck right in, slather it all over my hair. I'm focusing on the canopy of my hair first, because that is the part of my hair that is obviously damaged by the straighteners and also environmental damage. It feels horrible. And then I'm going to work my way down to the mid-lengths and ends of my hair, and try and focus as much of this as I can on my dry ends, because they will be frazzled from the straighteners. It's the oldest hair on my head obviously, because it's grown all the way down. Yeah, so this is going to be the bit that needs the most help. Getting nice and messy. I was thinking, should I do the brush and bowl that I use to colour my hair? But then I decided no. So I've put it on my canopy and my ends. So now I'm just going to use the rest to just make sure that all of my hair is covered with this magical hair mask. Oh, and by the way, as you've seen here, I've applied my hair mask to dry hair. You can do it to wet hair, and supposedly they say if you've got low porosity hair, which I consider myself to be, because the hair cuticle is smooth and my hair doesn't easily absorb moisture, so they say to apply products and hair masks and the like to damp hair or wet hair because it opens up the hair cuticle. I physically cannot stand applying this treatment or any sort of treatment type thing to wet hair, because I always found it would sort of trickle down here, down into my ears almost, and that makes, what is with these bubbles in my throat today? And that makes me feel physically ill. So I personally prefer how my hair feels when I apply this to dry hair. But if you aren't a pansy like me and you feel like applying it to wet hair, crack on. So I'm now going to let this sit for an hour, and then I will be back to explain what I will be doing next. I will see you later. So I've left my mixture on for an hour. My hair has gone nice and hard. So what I like to do now is I'm going to go and rinse my hair really well with sort of warm, not hot water, but not as cool as when I wash my hair. What I like to do is I sort of get rid of this hardness, but then I like to use this mixture to act as a sort of co-wash. So, like I said, I'll get it all wet, then I'll give my scalp a really good scrub, and then carry on rinsing. And then I'm going to maybe condition, might skip that step depending on how my hair's feeling. And then I will show you guys how I'm going to style my hair. So, like I said, I rinsed my hair out. I did give my scalp a little shampoo with the Child's Farm Cocoa Nourish shampoo, just because my hair it just felt like it needed a wash basically. So I just wanted to make sure that my hair was like as clean as possible, remove any sort of build-up. Then I kept my head upside down. While my hair was still soaking wet, I applied, I think it was 20 pumps of the Child's Farm leave-in conditioner, and I then applied with praying hands a blob, sort of a fingertip size blob of the Boots curl cream. Then my hair was feeling a little bit, it had nice and slippery, it was nice and slippery, but I didn't want my hair to feel too sort of creamy and gunky when it was dry, so I just gently squeezed it with just a normal cotton towel, and here we are. So I've obviously detangled my hair as well. So here comes the fun bit. I just need to try and find a clip. Let's see how my hair's going to react with one of these bird clips that I call them. So I'm going to section my hair sort of at the top of my ears and clip up the top bit. I want to do it in smaller sections today because I did an experiment in one of the other videos, which I can't remember which video it was, and it worked. So I'm going to do it again. So just clipping it up nice and tightly so it's out the way, hoping that my hands aren't going to be too slippy. Right, that'll do. So I'm then going to split this bottom section in two, and I'm going to use my coconut products because they're really lightweight and I don't want my hair to be sort of any more weighed down than I'm worried it will be already. So I'm just going to give my hair just a little gentle squeeze, not quite a micro plop, just so it's not quite so soaking wet, because we don't want the water weight to weigh down the hair. So I'm going to do 1 pump of the coconut curl boosting lotion. I do have a video reviewing the coconut products if you guys want to check that out. Just want to make sure that the sides are the same size as well, and as you can see I'm raking it through, and then I'm gonna attempt something, because we all know I like to try experiments for the first time on my channel. So I'm gonna get the hair round. I'm gonna then sort of not squeeze it, but close my fist and pull my hair down. And these are the clumps that I'm then going to brush style. I am using my Behairful brush for brush styling. I do have a link and a discount code down in the description box if you guys wanted to treat yourself to this. If you've seen my video raving about it. If you haven't, why not? Go check it out. Just trying to work out which way to swirl my hair. So there we go, we have one beautiful frizz-free ringlet. I seriously love this brush so much. It's just so gentle on my hair, but it really, really works. So I turn the brush as I'm brushing, and this helps create these beautiful, defined, smooth ringlets without snagging my hair and without pulling it. But I do hold on to the roots just to avoid any sort of tension on the scalp. And you can see I'm giving it a little wiggle after I run the brush down, and that really helps these curls form. So this is the last one for this little section. Try not to catch the other ones in the brush. I do that quite a lot. So give it a little bounce. And look at these incredible curls. I hope you guys can see. Then I am going to give it a little spritz with this curl spray. It advertises itself as medium hold, but it gives an amazing cast and it just really helps lock in these curls. So I'm going to put my hand here just so I don't spray it all on my neck. Just give my curls a little spritz, and then just to really help them bounce back up, I am going to scrunch and being very gentle because I don't want to break the curl pattern up. And there we have it. So I'm going to now do that for the rest of my hair, and then I'll be back. So now my hair is brush styled, as you can see. This bit seems to have gone a little bit separated, but it's not the end of the world. I shall simply put it back together, if it'll let me. So, hasn't made much difference. What I'm going to do now is, using the pyjama top that you saw me use earlier, I am just going to gently, because I don't want to break up these beautiful juicy ringlets, I'm just going to gently scrunch my hair with it. This is called micro plopping, apparently, and this just helps remove any sort of excess water and styling product, and I find it really helps speed up drying time. So as you can see, I'm sort of gently picking up my roots before I scrunch, just to really get that volume and that lift. I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying not to disturb the curl pattern too much, but at the end of the day I'm fiddling with it, so it is going to happen a little bit. So I'll just do this side. And then again, picking up the roots and giving it a little gentle hug with my hand. There. And now for the fun part that always gets me really hot and sweaty. Now I need to attempt to dry my hair. So my hair is probably about 95% dry now. I just can't bother to dry it anymore. So what I'm going to use to scrunch out the crunch, this is my favourite part of a routine. I'm going to use the Coconut Capillary Argan Serum, which has one of my hairs on it. I love this serum because it's so rich and moisturising, but it's still really lightweight. So I am going to, again, get rid of one of my hairs. I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 drops per side of my head. So I don't want to do any more because where it's so rich it will end up weighing it down. And then I'm going to gently smooth my hands over my hair using the praying hands method. This just smooths down any frizzies that have tried to escape, not that there are that many today. And I'm then going to give my hair a little scrunch just to put that bounce back in and counteract any stretching from the praying hands. And then the last step is I'm going to find the natural gap in any of these big massive clumps and just gently separate them out, and that is just going to give my hair a little bit of a boost, give it that little bit more volume and a little bit more movement, and it will just sort of soften the overall look. I find I just think if my whole head was covered in these, I think it would be quite a sort of harsh look. So yeah, I'm just separating them out as best as I can. And then I will do the same on the other side. So again, oh, dropped one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure the lid's back on. First time I ever used that serum, I spilt it. I genuinely nearly cried. So again, praying hands to initially break that cast, that hard crunchy shell. Give my hair a little scrunch to put back in some of that bounce. And then find any of these massive clumps, find the natural gap, and then gently separate them. Look at this bad boy. And then I'm just going to give my roots a little fluff, make sure they're unstuck, and if I've got a cast at the roots of my hair, I'm just going to make sure that that's broken too. And there we go. So obviously it goes without saying, using straighteners or chemicals is bad for your hair. I'm not going to sit here and go, yeah, straighten your hair every day, use bleach every day, your hair will be fine. At the end of the day, it is going to damage the hair. But if, like me, you just fancied shaking up your look a bit, you just fancied a change, you wanted to see how long your hair's grown naturally, by all means, do not feel like you are going to ruin your hair forever and it's going to be just the complete end of the world if you fancy straightening your hair every once in a while. I straighten my hair, I would say about once a year, and I just find as long as I do this routine I've just done, a nice rich moisturising deep conditioner mixed with a nice shot of protein, my curls pretty much bounce back. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully this video has given you some little tips and tricks if you fancy to change. As always, don't forget to hit like, subscribe and share, and I will see you soon. Bye bye. I do quite like to sort of do a like a blah, 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 blah. I've demoed every time.